Hey guys, I am so excited to talk to you guys today about adding to your network. So, this is a big one because this is the foundation of your business. And, we talk about inviting to your warm market, your hot market is what I like to call it now, because the hot market are your friends, your family, people who are already following you or already friends with you on social media. Those are your hot market. Your warm market for me means the people who are kind of following you, they're um, friends with you on your Facebook page, they're following your Facebook page, they like and comment on your stuff, like they see you, they know you're there, but you haven't made that initial connection yet. Cold market is people who you've never talked to, you've never had a discussion with, they're not friends on Facebook, you don't have mutual friends, there's no connection there. That's your cold market. So you might hear those terms thrown in around this training, and as you continue to grow your business, that's how I view them. That's what they mean to me. So we want to talk to you today about how to grow that cold market into a warm market, into a hot market, okay? So I'm going to break it down on both social media platforms. And so we have Instagram primarily and Facebook. So Instagram is ever changing, and both of these are. So this is May 2019. Things will be changing. So if you're watching this video, I encourage you to look up a newer version of this depending on when this is, because social media changes. Algorithms change, the way we run our businesses change. It keeps it fun, it keeps it exciting, and it's one of the cool things about our business. So we don't get bored, and we're always learning and always growing. So for the moment, Instagram is all about using hashtags and finding the people that we like to say, if you could sit down and drink coffee with someone, is that the people that are following you on Instagram? Are you following the people that you would want to sit down and have coffee with on Instagram? So one way to connect with people is through hashtags. You can, and we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this a little bit more in depth, and we're going to talk like hashtags. So when you go on Instagram and you do a post, you can do hashtags, and what happens is your post goes into that hashtag feed, and most people will go into those hashtags and search and just see what kind of people they can connect with. So hashtags are a great way for you to be seen, but for you also to find your people, okay? So you can use hashtags as well as following other influencers' accounts. So the second way that I've grown my account is by following accounts that are about authors, kid clothing brands, influencers, authors like Lisa TerKeurst, Laura Casey, people who have written books that I connect with, that I think their message jives with my message. They're people that I would want to be around. I go on their accounts and I look on a picture that maybe resonates with me, and I look at the likes, I look at the comments, and I interact on that post. And I think that's a key piece, as I have found Instagram requires me to be a lot more social on Instagram than Facebook does. So Instagram, I find that post and I go through those comments and I reply, I engage, I interact with those people, and I be social, okay? That's one way I have found that works better for me. It feels more natural for me to do it that way. And influencers, favorite music brands, favorite clothing brands, photographers, think of different niches, different types of people, different hobbies that you have. I am a breastfeeding mom of 4. I'm from the Midwest. I'm dairy-free. Fitness is something that I just genuinely love. I'm learning about nutrition. Jesus is my best friend, and those are things about me. So when I think of those things, I want to go to Instagram and find hashtags and other accounts that resemble those things, and I want to interact and connect and comment and like on those kinds of things. So you might hear this phrase 5-3-1. And what we mean by this is when you find an account, so let's say I go to a hashtag Mama4, I see this account, I like it, it's someone that I would jive with, I go to her account, I like 5 photos, I comment on 3 of them. That's cute, mine too, that's so funny, I can't believe it. Maybe she's asking a question, you can share your advice, share your favorite thing, whatever the case may be. And then 1, you send them a message on 1, or Facebook Stories makes this super simple to get into their inbox. Is if they have that colorful ring around their profile, they've had Instagram Stories. So go to their Instagram Stories and watch their Instagram Stories. And if there's something you can genuinely comment on to get into their inbox, then you get in their inbox, okay? So 5, 3, 1. You like 5 pictures, you comment on 3 of them, and you send a message on 1. So we're all running our businesses a little bit different. Meg's going to do hers a little bit different. Abby's going to do her Instagram a little bit different. For me, I was getting stressed out with a number of people. So I've just started setting a timer for the time that's on your tracker sheet, where it says initiate connections, add followers. I just set a timer for 20 minutes, and I do that socialization on Instagram for 20 minutes, and I see what happens, and I feel a lot less pressure to hit a number of people I need to 5, 3, 1, but I know that I'm being intentional in that 20 minutes of interacting on social media, of interacting on Instagram, and commenting, laughing, being social on that. Okay, so that's how I've grown Instagram, is by being social those few ways with hashtags, following others' accounts, and Instagram Stories, which we're going to talk all about this more in depth. So the other way, and this is primarily the way that I have built my business, even in the last year as Instagram's gotten bigger, is through Facebook. So I've been a Beachbody coach for 6 years, so my following has grown, my friendships have grown. So I'm just going to share a few ways that I've built my friends list on Facebook. Okay, so I want you to think about, past. Okay, your past. So you're not friends with everyone on Facebook from your past. So think high school, past jobs, your current job, think past college, people that you might be missing out on Facebook. You can go to your current coworkers that you are friends with and see, who are they friends with that you aren't. If you have 5 or more mutual friends, there's probably a good balance of friendship between that person. You can send them a friend request and they wouldn't be like, who is this person, right? So think about that, your past. Who can you connect with and go to their friends list and see who you're mutual friends with that wouldn't be out of the blue, but this is one of those memory joggers that we kind of mentioned to get more names on your list that you have more connects and contacts. Other ways, so that's one way. The other way is I started tagging my husband in all my posts. So lucky him. If it was appropriate to tag him in, which he's my husband, everything's appropriate, I would tag him in that post. And what that would do was it would go up on his wall. So his friends would see it. And if you are friends with my spouse or Matt and you're watching this, there was intention, because he has friends from college. He has friends from high school. He has relatives. He has family that I have not met yet, that I have no connection with. But our connection, their trust, begins with knowing that they know my husband. And so I would tag Matt. That would show up in his new feed. His friends of his past, current coworkers, whatever, would comment. Okay, so that was one way. The other way that I grew my business is mom groups. Okay, and some of these can be a bear. And really hard to be in, but I committed when I first started my business to get into at least 2 or 3 groups to really grow my connections, because I was a huge introvert, so I was a little shy on how to do this. But I just started, kind of like I explained in Instagram, I just started being social. I started asking questions. I started giving my advice, my opinion on things, sharing tools and tips that worked for us. I was a brand new mom of twins. I decided that I wasn't nursing. I was exclusively pumping. So I got into exclusively pumping groups. I got into boy-girl twin groups. I got into new mom twin groups. I got into Florida chapters for twin groups. I got into all of these groups and submerged myself with people who were in a stage of life that I was in. And we started to build these friendships. We started to lean on each other through motherhood, and they would see my posts on social media about my health and fitness journey. So that was one. And now to kind of caveat that, I run one of those groups. So now I have a group called Bumps and Beyond with Brittany Wright, and I invite expecting moms or moms with, I have a 2.5-year-old, moms with kids generally 2.5 and younger, whatever phase of life, Hayden's in. I kind of just talk to moms of all that. I also have 2 6-year-olds, the twins. So if someone has, if I come into contact with someone who has that stage of life, that's an easy invite. I invite them to that group with me. I also have that group to network with and build relationships with. They trust me. It is not just someone on social media anymore. They're in that group. There is a safe place for them to ask questions and share motherhood with. So I recommend coaches, if there's a struggle or a situation in life that is never going away, Meg has done this with Thyroid groups, create a safe haven community and invite to that safe haven and community and provide how it's helped you and what's worked for you in that group. The other way is friends of friends. Seeing your friends list and seeing other friends that you may relate to, or maybe you at first they like went to Grand Valley, or they went to the same college you went to, or they worked at the same place you did, or I don't mind messaging people like, hey, I see you have 4 kids too. You popped up on as a suggested friend. I just love to connect with other moms with big families. And it just opens up that conversation. It just builds that connection and that trust without it coming off in a spammy way. You could always just comment and like on people's photos and stuff like that if that feels more comfortable, but going through friends of friends. And then currently what's working well for me is being bold and being friends with people on Facebook that I meet in person. And this is a huge step for me because I'm a huge introvert and I don't want to come off spammy, salesy. I don't want to come off as intrusive, but we are in a day of social media and everybody likes to keep up on everybody. So with my kids now in grade school, they're in kindergarten, they're finishing that up now. I try and friend the parents in their classroom, the parents on their sports team, where my husband works. I'll friend his new coworkers, or thinking of past places that I've worked, I'll do that. And in this stage of life, those school and sport parents, that's where I'm starting to build and connect and do the things so that I'm building those friendships and they see me physically day to day living my lifestyle. I'm no longer just this social media person and I'm not posting on the perfect angles and only posting the highlight reel. They see my nitty gritty day to day, mom of 4, living life and finding a healthy balance. They see that physically, and there's so much power when I'm meeting these new moms. They're new moms, not like new baby moms, but new moms in my life. They can also see how I'm living and living my lifestyle. So it's all about building connections. It's all about building some friendships and not being afraid to send those invitations as they come up and as you have places to invite them to. So I hope this was helpful. These are ways that when we do this Success Club system tracker, that you are adding and initiating connections and adding followers to your list. All right, guys, have an awesome day. I would love to hear what tip stuck out with you the most and what way you are going to start adding to your network today. Bye, guys.